So as we take a look at our second day of conditional probability, we're going to kind of do some review of what we've done and just kind of make sure that some of the finer points are worked on here. So we have the spinner over here to the right, numbered 1 to 8. So these first 6 questions are all going to base off of that, but I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm just going to kind of bounce around and do one here and do one there to kind of see how this is going. So I read number 5. The spinner does not land on 3. Oh, there's the magic word. Okay, given, or it might come across as if you know, or something like that, that the spinner lands on an odd number. So we chatted a bit yesterday about what this is going to look like. We're going to have a fraction. We'll do some with words here. Whatever's after given, whatever event occurs, that's your denominator. If the spinner lands on an odd number. Okay, so odd number. But then my numerator is going to be both the odd number that I just got there and whatever's before given. The spinner does not land on 3. So I go through and I start figuring out these numbers. I'm like, okay, an odd number. Start working my way around here. So odd, 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 odd. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. And then up top, it's got to be an odd number, which would still include all of those, but not 3. So all my other odds, 1, 5, and 7, would be included. And I've got my fraction. And if it reduced, I'd always check on math, enter, enter. But other than that, we check that and we kind of roll with it from there. And we're going to see several of these. I'm just, again, trying to get you one in each of the sections so you kind of got something to reference back to. So I start looking at these and I'm like, okay, so maybe I get a picture and I get some information. That's one thing we might look at. Another type, if I move down towards the bottom of this front page, would be I'm given a chart. So let's go ahead here. I know this says 8 and 9, but these are actually going with the chart right here. So when a U.S. congressman vacates their office in the middle of their 2-year term, a special election for the remainder of the term is often held to fill the vacancy. The table shows the number of special elections won by each party between 2004 and 2007. Find each probability. Okay. A Republican wins given the special election was held in 2007. So again, and whether you write this out or you're just kind of mentally thinking about it, this is the thought process. Special election was held in 2007. Now that's not my denominator, that's the year. And then the numerator would be both the year, what's after the given, and what's before. So 2007 and a Republican. Okay, there'll always be more information in your numerator than your denominator with these. So we also chatted yesterday about the idea of, hey, it's a good idea when I have tables to go ahead and add all of my columns and all of my rows up just in case I need a grand total for something. Now, if I have the word given included, that total's probably not going to be something that comes into play. But if it isn't, then it definitely would. So here, I say, okay, 2007, there were 5 special elections, because I'm just doing the 2007 column. But then when I do the numerator, okay, still in the 2007 column, but now I just want the Republicans out of that group. And I'm set. But the order does matter. Okay, well, what do you mean by that? Okay, let's use B as the example. The election was held in 2005, given the winner was a Democrat. All right, let's get some back and forth going here now. What's going to go in my denominator? Democrat. Because that's what's after given. What's going to go in the numerator? Yeah, Democrat and whatever's before, which is that the election was held in 2005. So, okay, Democrat is this row. There's 7. Okay. Democrat, so stay in this row, 2005. 1. 1, 7. And again, it can be the word given, and as we go a little further, you'll notice it can also be that slash mark that we see. Can be that same idea. So nothing too bad going there. On a good news front, as you flip over, we are going to zap in the practice B section the 1 through 4, with the 4 dice are thrown. They're just worded kind of strange, and I don't want you getting locked in on those and starting to think these are difficult because that's what you ran into here. So we're going to zap 1 through 4, and we are going to move ourselves down to this number 7, 8 category. And again, the box in 7 is going along with these. It's just the way the numbering showed up. So as we saw in our last one where we had a table, we want to have totals for all of these because you're never quite sure, unless you read them ahead, which totals you're going to need and which totals you aren't. So, turn this down a little bit. So we're going to take just a moment. It won't take forever here. To go ahead, if I type them in correctly, and then also for our rows. So I get my rows, I get my columns situated. Because what I'm going to be doing here is, depending on, because it looks like we're back into elections again here. So we're told the districts that the voting was done in and the names of the 2 candidates. So what we're going to do is just like we've been doing before. We go through, we read. So let's say we're doing A. A voter cast a ballot for Joe Coniglio, given that the voter cast a ballot in Clinton. So, after given, cast their ballot in Clinton, the precinct. My numerator will be Clinton, the precinct, plus the candidate. So in Clinton, and we'll just write Joe, because that's a little quicker. And so this is why I make those titles again. I add those columns. Okay, Clinton, my total number of people that voted there. And then I'm going to stay in the Clinton column, but I just want Joe Coniglio's number for that. And we always want to make sure that whenever we're doing probability, we're simplifying it all the way down to 9 over 20. Wow. Joe's still not winning because he's getting less than half, but we get the idea and see how that works. So that's really all I think that we're doing with these. I'm going to make sure I didn't mark some other ones here as I'm flipping along. But just the key is going to be on tables, okay, columns and rows added, and then after the given is our denominator, and the 2 together is going to be our numerator. And, oh, yeah. Okay. That's good. That's a good idea. Yeah. This will be the last one I think we're going to take a peek at. So number 1, if we flip over, because I want to get away again from every single one having to be with a chart. So spinners. Marjorie's playing a game that uses the spinner shown. What was the probability that Marjorie spins 6 given that she spins a number greater than 2? Okay. Greater than 2. And then my numerator again is going to be both. So greater than 2, but it's going to be the number 6. Okay, it's got to cover both things. And so when I start to look, I've got to read carefully here because it says greater than 2. It doesn't say greater than or equal to. So greater than 2, we would start at 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4 possibilities. And then up here, it's going to be greater than 2. So it's those same 4 numbers, but the chance I'm going to get the number 6. Well, there's only one spot on the spinner that's the number 6. That's greater than 2. And I'm set. Okay? So your job, again, maybe not every single one, but maybe a couple in each of the sections to be able to see how they're going, check them out, because tomorrow we change gears to surveys, experiments, and observational studies. We will come back to this on the quiz preview. So give these a shot with your time today, and let me know if you need any assistance.